Antoine, thanks a million for joining me today.
Thanks for welcoming me.
Thank you. Let's start with you giving me a little bit about yourself and your business.
So my name is Antoine Riedmatten. I'm originally from Switzerland, and I've been working in the perfume industry for almost 30 years. Started with one of the big Swiss companies. Not everyone knows, but two of the biggest fragrance companies are Swiss. Travel all around the world, live in the US, in Brazil, in Europe obviously, in Vienna, in Geneva, and I've been 7 years in Dubai.
Okay.
And 4 years ago I joined the company Eurofragance, a Catalan Spanish company, which is with a HQ in Barcelona.
Right. So you're with the company now 4 years. What are some of the changes that you've seen in the industry that have had major effects?
So I joined the company as a global sales director, and I must say that when you're working for one of the major players, there is a big part of the business that you don't see because you more focus on the giant companies. And I've been amazed to see that there is another world with hundreds of fragrance houses. And competition is really fierce, but on the other hand, there is also a very big market. Right. So I think also it has been not a surprise, but this region has been a golden mine for many years, okay, with double-digit growth and everything. And so this has attracted many players. So one of the trends we see that, okay, competition is more fierce than before.
Yeah. So, you know, just picking up on what you're saying, obviously it has been a gold mine for a lot of companies out here. The Middle East is a very attractive market. There's been what I suppose you could consider a little bit of a slowdown in the market over the last couple of years. Is that something you guys are seeing, or is it having an effect on your business?
No, it is true that compared to what it was, I mean, it was raining projects and orders and everything. Yeah. Now, you have to fight much more, you have to really to be hungry, and you need to show that you're different from the others and that you're better than the others. Right. In a way, it's very healthy, because I think that when you have this kind of competition, only the best one will be able to continue to deal with the people here. And you see that each time there's a crisis, again, there are opportunities. So also our clients, which the market has been slowing down a little bit, but they are exporting much more. They are trying to find new market in India, in Africa, even in the United States. We have some clients now which are selling very well in Latin America, in Brazil, which I think that they would not have done before. So, and of course, this is good for us too.
Of course. So talk to me then about some of the major challenges that you've had over the last couple of years and how you managed to overcome them as a business.
I think one of the main challenges is our company has been extremely successful, especially in this region, because we are one of the leading company, especially on fine perfumery. And this success has been done a little bit behind the scene without too many people noticing it. Yeah. Now, intentionally, we wanted to be much more visible, but of course it has attracted much more competition, and we are much more target than before. Yeah. But on the other hand, this is why we opened 3 years ago a creative center now in Dubai, and it's really state-of-the-art with all the new technology for robotization, labs, we have perfumers evaluation, booths. So this has been there was this challenge, but I think by doing this, we have been able to be closer to the market, closer to end consumers, to understand their need and taste, and also much closer to our clients.
So that's something I want to develop with you there, the changes in tech that you're seeing in the industry. What have you noticed over the last couple of years that's been changing, where technology has been enhancing your product offering or the way you do business?
So technology, you can see it at different levels. So obviously within perfumes, so perfume is a composition of 20, 30, 40, 50 ingredients. Some are naturals, others are synthetics. And so you can find new molecules, new synthetics. You can find new technology to do to extract naturals with new techniques, so it gives you different smell.
Yeah.
Then you have a big change in all the manufacturing. So manufacturing in the past was manual, so you will see people with drums and fillings. Now everything is automatized with robots, super high technology. The same for the logistics, everything. So this is very good because it's improving efficiency, speed, which is key because everyone wants the product like this. And also about reliability and quality. I mean, your machines, normally they do no mistakes. It happens sometimes, but it's really reduced. And reliability is extremely important in perfumery. You're dealing with thousands of raw materials, different mixing. You need to make sure it's always perfect.
Yeah, yeah. So when you're approaching, let's say, obviously being a global company, when you're looking at new markets or where is the next step for the business, how do you go about that approach? You know, you mentioned Africa is an important market for you guys. When you're looking to do business within a particular market, how do you go about that process? How do you go about raising awareness of your brand or working with distributors or whatever the case may be?
So before going there, I'd like to talk just a few words about the history of the company. Which has been founded 27, 28 years ago by the Sabates family in Barcelona, and it's still a family-owned company. And they've been growing a lot in Spain and in the Gulf. I mean, 25 years ago, they had the nose to feel, wow, there is something in this part of the world. And so they grew very fast. And then 4 or 5 years ago, they decided that, okay, now we are a Spanish exporting company, but we want to become a small multinational.
Okay.
And as a family, you don't have the stock market and everything. They decided to take really huge risk, massive investment, and open this creative center in Dubai.
Right.
Another one in Singapore less than 1 year after. Complete robotization of the plant in Barcelona, and also we just acquired a new company in the US.
Okay.
So in 3 years, from a small company family, we became a group.
Yeah.
And to do this also, of course, we had to hire a lot of new people. And so it's really fantastic because we have a mix of all the people who built this company and the success of this company during the last 25 years, combined with new people, experts, coming from some of the big houses all together. And it's giving a lot of synergy. I'm always saying that we kind of start up, but with full of experience.
Yeah.
And this gives, I think, a magic touch. And also being with a family company, very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
It gives us a lot of energy to everyone. I mean, we're all proud to be part of this journey, and when we see the enthusiasm also of the owner and everything, it makes us flying. And it's very good because clients feel it also. The world is open for us, so the difficulty is really to target not too many markets. Because you know that there is, when you see the whole world and the market potential, you say, wow, I want to go in Africa, I want to go in Asia, I want to go. But more and more we're realizing, okay, we don't have 2,000, 3,000 employees. So let's make sure that we're targeting only a few markets, few segments, and clients we want to work with, which is not arrogant at all. It's just that we need to find clients we believe in us, where there is trust, there is this idea about working for the next 5 to 10 years, not just opportunistically.
Of course. And you're obviously with the business, these changes have taken place over the last 3 years, let's say. You're with the business 4 years. What's the culture change been like then within the business? You know, moving from, as you say, a family business into a small multinational. That's quite a change for...
It's a big change. Not so much for me because I'm coming from one of the big multinationals, but maybe more for the people who were. So I think everyone is proud, but it has put also a bit more pressure.
Yeah.
Because you know that when you do so much investment and everything, of course, even if it's a family company, performance is important. So we need to deliver. Yeah. But still, we try to keep this balance between still being a family company, enthusiastic and everything, and on the other hand, deliver good results. Because at the end of the day, it's the key of the success. That's what allows you also to reinvest, to hire also better people, and to go elsewhere and everything.
So I want to talk a little bit about your marketing strategy. How do you go about building awareness of your product amongst your potential clients?
So we are in a B2B business, so it's not so difficult to know who your target are. When you go into new markets, okay, you can do some desk research, you can go to Euromonitor, you can ask embassies to give you listing of companies and everything. Then one of the best ways is to go into the market and to do store checks.
Okay.
Because
back to basics.
Our company, we cannot work with the big players, you know, the Procter & Gamble. So we're targeting the key local players, plus smaller company that we call the prospect, where we feel that there are young companies and there is something, this is a company which tomorrow could be growing and be one of the leaders.
Yeah.
So store check is very important. You go in the street, you go in the supermarket, you go in perfumery shops, everywhere, and step by step, you do your contact. So it can be very long, and sometimes you're lucky, it can be very fast. There is networking is super important, and that's why we're participating to this fair here also. Yes, I think the other way of doing it, because we were extremely well known in this region, extremely well known in fine fragrance, but not so much in other segments. So we decided to participate to a few selected fairs, also in Asia, in Mexico, and the brand awareness has been growing very fast. The other part is also because of we have hired also people from other of the big groups, so the word of mouth is very strong. You know, it's a small. It looks big, but it's a very small world. So everybody knows it.
Yeah. So I have one final question for you then. As a business leader, what's the one thing that keeps you up at night?
Wow, many things. I should not. I'll try to switch my phone now as much as possible. But the thing is really is to make sure that your clients are happy, because you know they always depend on us. We depend on their success, but they depend on us. And we are focused on the creativity and having beautiful smell and scents and everything. But then you need to make sure that the whole machine works.
Sales queue as well.
Yeah, all the manufacturing, the logistics, you know, all the small details. And those days, the perfumery is suffering a kind of crisis about raw material. Prices are jumping to the roof. So it's also something we keep us a bit, because we were not used to it.
Yes.
And apparently it's something which is here to stay for a while. So we need to adapt and to see how to do our best, not for our client to suffer too much, not for the end consumer to also to suffer too much, but to find fair solution for everyone.
Absolutely. Antoine, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much.
Same.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.